Hello, Moment friends! Ending here for another episode of the Battle of the Black Gate. When we last left off, we were getting ready to come to this fortress, and we are now here in Harandir. And as you can see, it's quite the ruinous place. We are getting super close to Mordor, as you can tell. I mean, it's literally on the other side of just that mountain that's back there behind this, this city, so pretty cool.
This is a dead place. An empty place. I do not like it.
There will be many such places as these as we get nearer to Mordor and Deng. How could anyone live here? The answer to that question is a simple one. I suppose no one does live here. Not truly. Not good folk, at any rate. I have heard tell from the Rangers of Ithilien that there are few sites throughout the wastes in which evil folk dwell. These places should be scouted before the host passes near. Find Dam Boha in the Norman lands, and Dol Akarn, and Ulsali's Folly in Daggerlad, and defeat any enemies that may endanger the passage of the host. Once the way is safe, the host of the West will assemble outside the Black Gate, and we will see what awaits us there. Oh man, we are getting so close to the Battle of the Black Gate. That is so exciting. Ah, so close. Ah, Handeng. Good to see you. I take it Mablung sent you on your way. We can surely use the assistance.
Will you help bear my burden, friend?
We've found an orc camp not far from here in the ruins of Nurhan. They do not appear to be making a move toward the camp of the host, but it would be unwise to let them linger nearby. The last thing we need is to be ambushed on the road, or flanked from the rear while we march to the Black Gate. We have learned that the orc captain Bloglok leads this camp. Head to Ninhan and end this threat. Handeng, it is good to have you here with us on the doorstep of the enemy. After you left Osgiliath, the other rangers and I had little difficulty finding and defeating the last orcs hiding amongst the city ruins. Now then to the matter at hand. As you may have heard, the enemy does not venture into the ruins of Harandir, for they believe it haunted. In truth, this is not the case. It is an appearance we kept up, so that we may occupy the most southern lookout for Gondor undisturbed. Not long ago, Haradrim set up a camp just over the western hills. We have noticed the patrols widen as each day passes. While we have been able to trick the orcs for many years, I fear the Haradrim are shrewder foes. We must stop the camp from spreading and uncovering the truth about Harandir. Would you take on this task while we guard the western gate from assault? Alright, I guess I can.
Will you help bear my burden, friend?
I have a favor to ask you, my friend. One of our own, Lenglar, has set out to scout the hill of Arondir's Folly. He fears a company of orcs lay in wait and seek to encircle the host as it draws closer to the Black Gate. Leglar was firm in his desire to scout the hill, but these lands are hostile to us all. We cannot risk scouting alone any longer, for the enemy's forces may have a raid against us just out of sight. Thus I bid the ranger Mitcham accompany him in his patrol. Handeng, I know that you and the ranger have crossed paths many times, and I trust that he shall be of aid to Langlar, especially with his knowledge of the enemy language. Patience also seems to be the virtue of his, as a lore master of sorts named Artemir begged to follow him out to Odnir's Folly, and he was gracious enough to escort the fellow there. The man is no warrior, and it troubles me that he might endanger the cause through carelessness. As far as I know, they have travelled to the ruins due north of here. The ruins are known as Thram Durlan, but with so little left intact, it is difficult to tell them from any other. Meet them there and aid Langlar and Mitcham if you are able, and keep a close watch on Atamir for me. Very well.
Faith alone will not stop the enemy.
I hear Anborn is sending you to Nuiharn. While you are there, can you do me a favor? There is a shrub that grows amongst the ruins, silver-colored and scraggly. We call it Hontrech. It is valuable to us because it glows an eerie blue color when burned. Why do we want that? I'll explain when you return. Gather some Hontrech for me and burn them in the braziers around Herondir. The color of the flames will change before your eyes. Okay, that's the most random quest ever. But I think it might have to do with something with the whole trying to make this place look haunted thing, so that kind of makes sense, I guess. Okay, it is time to make our way on into Domboha. Gathering of Evil, okay. You notice the encampment of Domboha is littered with maggot holes. The orcs seem to use these networks of tunnels to come and go about the Slag Hills. Perhaps sealing up the holes will limit their movement and communication. The Haradrim encampment seems well stocked with provisions littered throughout. Perhaps destroying some will cut their strength and sow discord. Half-trolls and lookouts are gathered in Domboha in great number. They seem to be waiting for something. Defeat enough of them to throw their plans into disarray. The Haradrim archers carry a poison with which they coat their arrowheads. Perhaps the Rangers of Athelion could use such a poison for themselves. Perhaps they could. Alright, we got a ton of stuff to do here, so let's get started. Alright, and there are the giant glowing tunnels which we're going to cover up here. Alright, here we go. Where do we get a boulder of that size? I totally don't understand. Somehow we lugged this thing all throughout this whole place. I just find that hilarious. Alright, yes, we sealed the maggot hole with the largest boulder ever carried by anybody. Alright. Alright, we defeat all the foes we need to defeat. There we go, sealed another with a giant rock. Okay. Okay, just one more to seal and then we're good to go. You have sealed off many of the maggot holes scattered throughout the hillside. This should severely limit the movements of the orcs beneath the hills. Well, that's great. Uh-oh, looks like this server is stuck. Here we go, finish the quest. Now time to kill the guys. There we go. Alright, just one more lookout and a few more executioners and then we're good to go. You have destroyed many of the supplies which Haradrim will need to stay camped in force and mobilize. You have defeated many foes gathered in Domboha. This will surely throw the Haradrim into disarray, and give the host of the West a better chance of making it to the Black Gate. Alright, fantastic. Alright, time to fight this guy. There we go, defeated. This Haradrim poison is quite potent. It and its effects are not unknown to the Rangers, nor have we refrained from using it in our own arrows against the enemy's servants. What you have brought to me today will not go to waste, I assure you. With all you have done for us, past and present, No reward could suffice. I am glad to have you as a trusted ally, Andeng. I believe the Haradrim will no longer pose a threat to Horondia. From what our lookout Dornak was able to surmise, their numbers should not be able to fully organize until well after the host of the West passes their camp. We need not fear any ambush from that direction at least, thanks to you.
Will you hear my plight?
Andeng, there are too few rangers stationed in the wastes. We are spread thin, trying to monitor the enemy's forces in Daggerland, and near the Morannon. Mirthael has just come back from a patrol. He carries a message from the Slag Hills. Find him, and learn his tidings. If you are able to assist us further, that is. We shall speak again in due time. So in other words, we have to do it regardless of if we want to or not. Good to know. Alright, well, we will go and talk to him next episode, but that's not till next time. Thank everyone so much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon for another episode of the Battle of the Black Gate.